and I know this to be the case, knowing a lot of the literature, has influenced kind of my style of how I lead, even as a woman, which is a little bit more like the boys, a little bit. But I have been passionate about developing women for many years. I actually started teaching piano lessons when I was 13 years old to adults and teenagers and kids, and I knew that I loved watching people progress from week to week and develop new skills and capabilities. Throughout my life I've done that, and in the past decade I started about 10 years ago researching, and this is how it's a little bit different than some of the other leadership research. I look at the lifetime development of prominent women leaders. So my interest is not just, although it's very important, how to develop women who are in the workplace now, but my passion has been on how do we raise daughters, or how do we raise girls with confidence, with competence, with leadership knowledge and skills, so they become women of influence. That's where, and I've done a lot of writing on that. One of my books, I interviewed 10 of the women governors. At the time, there were only 20 who were still alive. And I was able to get with 10 of those women governors, and also a book on university presidents, women university presidents. So my work is a little bit different than some in that I looked at women's lives. I looked at what their mothers, what they said about their mothers and their fathers and their elementary school teachers, and what they did when they were in middle school and high school, and who made the impact. Who did that? What did they do? What activities and clubs and all of that during college? And then their career paths and all of that. I've looked at all of their lives, and I'll tell you, even though it's a qualitative study with a small sample, I won't give you results now. I think we have another question, hopefully a little bit later. Some major ahas in that on things that we can do as parents. By the way, I have 4 kids of my own, so you learn a lot. I have a couple of, wow, this just went on. I actually have a couple of places in both of my books that talk about how motherhood, parenthood actually develops leadership skills in women. And I got that information from the governors and so forth. So I did, sorry, I'm going a little bit long here, but I have created a number. One of the things that I see are, I'm just a person, I'm kind of a social entrepreneur. I see gaps and I see opportunities that women can connect. And so about 3 years ago, I went to the ILA conference for the first time in Prague, which is a wonderful place to go. And I had sent out a note right before the proposals and said, I want to do a session on women in leadership. Had about 60 or 70 responses. And so the next year I put things together to create a luncheon where women could get together, scholars and practitioners, and talk. And we were maxed out this year at our event. So I've created this affinity group. I also created a network of women in higher education in Utah for all of the women who work in higher education, for leadership development and so forth, and a number of other networks. So I just have a hard time finding time sometimes to do my writing these days. But women need to know, first of all, how wonderful and how amazing they are. And one of the things I've noticed from the research is sometimes we don't know, first of all, what leadership really means.
And that's in the findings,
yes,
in the research,
yes,
are key to developing insights, yes, and developing leaders.